Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Sunday, November 14th, at 11:41 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 551 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Queen sprains back, won't attend Remembrance Sunday event. Europe's last dictator raises the stakes with the West. Invasive Burmese pythons are slithering their way up Florida, expanding their territory in the state and wreaking havoc on native species. Former Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn calls for one religion in America. PD, suspect sought after teenage boy shot, killed at Buckeye gas station. Fiancé speaks out after ex-boyfriend kills her husband-to-be. Japan's former princess leaves for U.S. with commoner husband. Kate Beckinsale shows off taut abs in tube top, patent leather pants. 4 people killed in plane crash on Michigan's Beaver Island. San Diego man dies in the Keys after diving for a football in shallow water. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Queen will miss Remembrance Sunday service after spraining her back, CNN. Here's what the jury in Kyle Rittenhouse's trial will have to weigh, CNN. Investigators track down Cleveland bank teller who stuffed $215,000 into a paper bag and vanished 52 years ago, CNN. Taylor Swift performs 10-minute All Too Well, breaking Saturday Night Live musical guest convention, deadline. Passenger attacks Southwest Airlines employee while boarding New York City-bound flight, New York Post. SNL mocks Ted Cruz's propaganda response to Big Bird's vaccination, New York Post. College football winners, losers, overreactions for Week 11, Texas, Florida reach embarrassing lows, CBS Sports. Gonzaga beats Texas in basketball, what we learned and what it could mean in March, ESPN. Gregory Bender's double life is exposed in the hospital when his wife meets his fiancé, CBS News. U.S. military hit airstrikes that kill dozens of civilians in Syria, Reuters. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Michael Flynn demands one religion under God at far-right rally. Trump encouraged staff to break the law, says former press secretary. Polish Nazi resistor, 94, tells right-wing extremist to shut up, you lousy bastard. Truth is truth, says Fox News' Chris Wallace, but he remains mum on Tucker Carlson. Watch Mark Meadows slam official who stonewalled subpoenas in 3-year-old clip. Birds in the Amazon rainforest are shrinking as temperatures rise. 197 nations reach watered-down climate agreement. Disney debuts Tiana first look, continuing legacy of groundbreaking princess. Former Apprentice contestant abruptly drops lawsuit against Trump. Not ready to lose my boy, dad speaks out about son in coma after Astroworld. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Teen shot, killed while fleeing carjackers. Husband-wife duo build community through song. Man killed in shooting at assisted living facility. Animals at zoo will receive COVID-19 vaccine. U.S. Olympic curling trials begin in Omaha. Video shows inmate escaping custody at airport. Students exit after witnessing racist graffiti. Retired North Iowa educator cannot part with the classroom. Ambulance driver charged in connection to crash. CA man reunited with dog that went missing in NYC. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Queen Elizabeth to miss remembrance service because of sprained back. Sam Huff, fearsome Hall of Fame linebacker, dies at 87. Baylor outplays Oklahoma 27-14. Consumers are resisting inflation. Negotiators strike a climate deal, but world remains far from limiting warming. Storm batters Long Island with hail and prompts rare tornado warnings. Father and son help crack unsolved 1969 bank robbery. 6 takeaways from COP26, the UN Climate Summit. Flooding and nuclear waste eat away at a tribe's ancestral home. Kaiser Permanente averts strike, reaching tentative deal with unions. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Sunday, November 14th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Nigel Farage, last week I was cancelled by a doctor who puts politics above the dying. Talk of the town, Lila Grace's shock at Mum Kate Moss's sudden sale of their 10 Highgate mansion. One of the 6 missing Pharaoh's sun temples is found by archaeologists in the Egyptian desert. Is BBC really pushing Tilly Ramsey to the Strictly final so it can poach her father Gordon from ITV? Legendary thriller writer Wilbur Smith dies at home in Cape Town aged 88. Putin sends 100,000 troops to Ukraine border as Liz Truss tells him to end shameful Belarus crisis. Outrage over white poppies on Remembrance Sunday wreaths. Outgoing UK border force boss triggers political row by saying borders are just a pain in the ass. Trigger warning device for classrooms and parties sounds alarm when it detects offensive language. Nike executive who wrote book about how he killed a man slammed for failing to tell the whole story. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Queen Elizabeth II sprains back, will miss first scheduled public appearance since hospitalization. With Iron Brew and climate funding pledges, Scotland's leader made a role for herself at COP26. Fire in COVID hospital kills 3 in Bulgaria. Al Jazeera says bureau chief detained by Sudanese forces. Goodbye, city life. Green acres in Japan beckon as pandemic shifts priorities. Poland says police hit with stones by migrants at border. At center of Europe's migrant crisis, tales of how Belarus clears the way and punishes pawns sent back. World leaders reach climate agreement at UN summit following 2 weeks of negotiations. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. Queen pulls out of Remembrance Sunday events with sprained back. Peter Capaldi, don't worry, I don't suddenly think I'm a rock star. There has been progress at COP26, but the planet's fate is still in the balance. The Free Britney movement finds its moment, all the hard work was worth it. Ghislaine Maxwell finally goes on trial after 15 months on remand. Try and try again, why did modern humans take so long to settle in Europe? On trial for saving lives, the young refugee activist facing a Greek court. Digging up Hollywood's plant howlers. Jennifer Arcuri, how Johnson pledged help for my business to win my love. Haunting monotones, inside the strange world of Ikahoso. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Watch, hail batters parts of New York and New Jersey. Economic discontent, criticisms of Biden lift GOP to record early advantage, poll. Southwest employee hospitalized after being assaulted by passenger, airline says. Federal court rejects Oklahoma death row inmate's appeal. Watch, customer throws soup at restaurant manager in Texas. Scottsdale police investigating school board president. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. COP26, new climate deal aims to slow climate change. COP26, the 2-week summit in 2 minutes. Ecuador prison riot, new fighting at Guayaquil jail kills 68. Renewable energy, how Scottish Isle of Eigg relies on wind, water, solar. FBI probes cyber attack emails sent from internal server. COP26 climate deal, it won't save us from drowning. Wilbur Smith, popular Zambian-born author dies aged 88. Dress embroidery project unifies women around the world. COP26 Paris built the arena, Glasgow starts the race, Kerry. Nazanin's Agari Radcliffe, husband ends hunger strike after 21 days. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Neglected kids are shipped from North Carolina to out-of-state psychiatric facilities, some are traumatized again. With Trump out of office, Republicans would prefer life in the 1950s, survey shows. 3 snow leopards at Nebraska Zoo die from COVID-19 complications. Christmas tree arrives in New York's Rockefeller Center. Today in history for November 14th. COP26 President, this is the moment of truth. Rockefeller tree arrives in NYC for the holidays. Most states see rising COVID cases as winter surge fears grow. Some states expand booster access. Latest COVID-19 updates. Kyle Rittenhouse jury will consider some lesser charges in Wisconsin shootings. Here's what that means. Macy's unveils new balloons ahead of parade. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Recovered from COVID-19, Mayor Garcetti scheduled to return to LA on Tuesday. Hot, dry conditions will stick around in Southern California through the weekend. The first time he died, it changed his life. Then he got shot in front of his church. As infections rise, the San Joaquin Valley becomes the land of the eternal COVID surge. In Carson, the stink will go away soon, the bigger problems won't. LA County Sheriff's deputy shoot man after chase ends in Santa Clarita area. Firefighters are critical of LAFD leadership and discipline process, survey finds. What can Britney Spears do now? Buy a house, get married, sue those who controlled her life. LA County and San Francisco encourage all adults to get booster shots. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Sunday, November 14th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Japanese Korean Turkish language group traced to farmers in ancient China. India tries to block coal phase out from COP26 deal. I-IT Bombay team wins $250,000 in Elon Musk's carbon removal competition. Norwegian undersea surveillance network had its cables mysteriously cut. Japan confirms this season's second bird flu outbreak. Deeply sorry COP26 president breaks down as action on coal is watered down in climate deal. Protesters gather at Air Canada headquarters, demand CEO's removal over French language skills. Thunberg denounces COP26 deal, UN chief warns catastrophe close. Britain's army chief warns risk of accidental war with Russia is greater than during Cold War. Ukraine says Russia has nearly 100,000 troops near its border. U.S. military hit airstrikes that kill dozens of civilians in Syria. Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte to run against daughter in VP race. Dissident Chinese artist Betty Uko's exhibit opens in Italy despite pressure from China to cancel. Polish nationalists burn German flags in state-sanctioned march. The next headlines are from Forbes. For first time ever, vaccines now fifth most valuable U.S. export. 11 small ship vacation deals for ocean, river and yacht cruises. EWA Full Year 2021 Results, Winners, News and Notes on November 13, 2021. EWA Full Year 2021 Results, Adam Page beats Kenny Omega, wins world title. EWA Full Year 2021 Results, CM Punk beats Eddie Kingston in heated match. Biden's eye will gather amid growing American wariness of China. EWA Full Year 2021 Results, Bryan Danielson beats Miro in world title eliminator finals. FBI email server hacked, thousands of spam emails said to be sent out. Notre Dame quarterback Tyler Buchner and the freshman learning experience. This week's most disliked YouTube video highlights negative sentiment toward COVID vaccines for kids. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,744,583,306 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Khmer Image chief calls for renaissance after Plague as in-person film festival opens. Will Oscar voters say I love Nicole Kidman and Aaron Sorkin's being the Ricardos? Taylor Swift delivers passionate performance of All Too Well on Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live mocks Ted Cruz's anti-Big Bird stance with Sesame Street parody. Mayor Pete review, a sharp look at the man who would, and may, be president. Elsewell, starring Elizabeth Rodriguez, Liza Colón-Zayas and Daphne Rubin Vega, Rex production. Taylor Swift breaks 2 Spotify records in one day with release of Red, Taylor's version. How Joe Manganiello kept his A-list Dungeons & Dragons games going during COVID-19. Red, Taylor's version, the 12 most devastating from Evolved lyrics. Every Marvel Studios movie and Disney Plus project in 2021 and beyond. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. This Colorado solar garden is literally a farm under solar panels. NPR Books editor Petra Mayer has died. Hackers sent spam emails from FBI accounts, agency confirms. John Gruden sues NFL for allegedly leaking emails that led to his resignation. Dozens of inmates die in a battle between prison gangs in Ecuador. An Antarctic penguin ends up on New Zealand shore, 3,100 miles from home. At COP26, nations strike a climate deal with coal compromise. 79-foot Christmas tree arrives in New York City's Rockefeller Center. More Republican leaders try to ban books on race, LGBTQ issues. Man who went to space with William Shatner weeks ago dies in a plane crash. The following headlines are from The Week. 6 charming homes near colleges. Steve Bannon's federal contempt of Congress case assigned to Trump appointee. California and New Mexico join Colorado, open COVID-19 booster shots to all adults. Chris Christie is happy to spar with Trump and call out his election lies, may support him in 2024. Shark Tank as Kevin O'Leary tells Bill Maher workers are never coming back to the office, and that's okay. U.S. Fifth Circuit Appellate Panel extends stay of Biden workplace vaccine requirement. Strong hiring doesn't dispel gloom. Events after Astroworld. Biden's bill isn't a celebration of bipartisanship, it's the funeral. 5 scathingly funny cartoons about Ted Cruz's feud with Big Bird. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Not saying it was aliens, but Oumuamua probably wasn't a nitrogen iceberg. Astronomy Jargon 101, Cosmic Microwave Background. These are the news headlines for today, Sunday, November 14th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Pleiades, or Seven Sisters, shine in November. Meet Hamal, an ancient equinox star. Orion the Hunter on November evenings. The next news is from Politico. COP26 Climate Summit concludes. Putin chides Lukashenko over threat to cut off gas to European Union. Big tech scrambles as Europe ramps up crusade against online advertising. The last-minute coal demand that almost sunk the Glasgow climate deal. Photos, the faces of COP26. The U.S. turns up the heat at climate talks. COP26 climate deal too late for vulnerable countries but too much for others. Arbery trial, grim photos, police testimony dominate week 1. FBI raid on Project Veritas founder's home sparks questions about press freedom. Africa's Great Green Wall shifts focus to hold off desert. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. New car clue in missing Victorian camper's mystery. Disenchantment is just, like, your opinion, man. Queen's brains back, pulls out of Remembrance Day service. Sydney Film Festival, it's all about sex. Australian women invasively examined on Qatar flight are suing after being ignored. Plan to plug rewards of teaching hits pay, promotion snag. More than held our own, Socceroos are no flat track bullies, says Jigo. I'm not going, single-sex public schools losing students to private system. Hockey backs former journalists and calls for a contested Liberal pre-selection in Willoughby. Good cop, bad cop, climate wins and losses from Glasgow. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Help me retire, I'm 49, my wife is 34, we have 4 kids and $2.3 million saved, I earn $300K a year but lose a lot of sleep worrying about tomorrow, when can I retire? This holiday travel season will be a challenge, here's how travelers can prepare themselves. Brett Ahrens is raw, your diet isn't just making you obese, it could be speeding up cognitive decline. Elon Musk has sold roughly $5 billion in Tesla stock this week, and probably isn't done. The Moneyist, I have an $8.5 million estate and 9 kids, 3 of whom have not proven to be responsible, should I cut them out of my will? Project Syndicate, the culprit for high inflation, too much efficiency. Newswatch, if inflation is more than transitory, consumer prices and stocks could both keep climbing. Help me retire, I'm a 39-year-old single dad with $600,000 saved, I want to retire at 50 but don't know how, what should I do? The Margin, did the climate summit leave you anxious? You're not alone, here are the most Googled questions during COP26. Distributed ledger, some hedge funds are seeing Ether as an inflation hedge, a crypto brokerage's CEO explains why. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Eugene Levin obituary, 2021, Redondo Beach, CA, San Gabriel Valley Tribune, Legacy.com. Enhance the quality of your drinking water with this new technology, Manila Bulletin. Marshall Federal Jury awards $7.50 in proxy server patent infringement case, Marshall News Messenger. Many coronavirus measures date back to the late Middle Ages. Fin Channel, The Financial. R.J. Reynolds settles ASIC patent suit ahead of NC trial, Law 360. The next headlines are from Quartz. Ethiopian crisis and social media, Art X Lagos, Egypt's COP27. Why getting a vaccine while pregnant is the best way to protect your baby from COVID-19. The wrong kind of conglomerate. Is it time to worry about U.S. inflation? The following headlines are from TechDirt. This week in TechDirt history, November 7th-13th. Fifth Circuit awards immunity to cop who thought it would be a good idea to jump on a moving car and kill the driver. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. UCLA football. Gonzaga basketball. Kansas football. Ben Roethlisberger. EWA Full Gear 2021. Kaiser Permanente union strike. Texas Tech football. Deion Sanders. Taylor Lautner. Max Holloway. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Fans row over Jaja's UFC future as sorry starlet suffers defeat after weight fiasco, video. Russia begins delivery of advanced S-400 missile systems to India, Moscow. World's largest orchestra of 12,000 musicians aims to break Guinness record, video. Why a U.S. crude export ban won't lower prices at the pump. Trans activists fuming as BBC executive tells staff that journalism can hurt their feelings, media. Protest in Austria as government mulls lockdown for unvaccinated, video. Australia could vaccinate under 12s by January. Russia stocks up as reserves rise to historic rate. Cops probe school board head over eerie dossier on parents. Unvaccinated Americans being banned from family parties, poll. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Smith, leftists support tyranny, conservatives do not, it's time to separate. From Amazon to Zoom, what happens in an internet minute in 2021. January 6, defendants taken out of cells on stretchers, court filing. Revolution in warfare, Israel unveils new Scorpius electronic warfare system. Taby, as America braces for the Rittenhouse verdict unrest, profits soar. Traffic deaths are surging despite less miles being traveled. Australia says it's inconceivable not to join US in defending Taiwan. Were these the richest people in human history? Why wokeism is a religion. As housing market boom drags on, just 13% of Gen Z say owning a home is extremely important. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Sudan security forces arrest Al Jazeera bureau chief in Khartoum. The last warrior of Africa's forgotten army, Gambia and World War II. Yemen's Houthis re-enter Hodeidah after Gulf Allied forces leave. Argentina votes in midterms amid pressure on President Fernandez. Zimbabwe is set on tackling climate change. Turkey rebuffs French call for troop withdrawal from Libya. Bulgarians vote in elections for third time this year. 5 protesters killed at Sudanese rally against military coup. T20 World Cup, Australia, New Zealand vie for elusive crown. Betrayal of people, planet, world reacts to COP26 climate pact. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Former Senator Chris Dodd suggests longtime friend Joe Biden may not run in 2024. Trump attacks sellout Republicans, demands they face primary challengers. Poll, Donald Trump leads Joe Biden by 11 points in Iowa. Los Angeles potentially exposed to radioactive dust after explosive demolition at old nuclear test site. Indiana man recalls rescue of 2 drowning children, earning him a Carnegie Medal. Pinkerton, Joe Biden and John Kerry's Green Great Reset punishes America, rewards China. Exclusive, Cicely Davis is running against Ilhan Omar to prevent the radical transformation of America. Poll, Sheriff Joe Lombardo shows double-digit lead in Nevada gubernatorial race. Washington Post columnist calls on CNN to correct its dossier reporting, after WAPO corrects its own. Watch, federal prisoner escapes custody at Milwaukee Airport. The following headlines are from Earth Files, updates on Earth and astronomical mysteries. Part 10, Army CIA unit studied the real UFO Blue Book cases. Part 9, Army CIA unit studied the real UFO Blue Book cases. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. A 15 million acre protected superhighway near Galapagos was just created to ban fishing, preserve marine life. This week's inspiring horoscopes from Rob Bresney's Free Will Astrology. Photo of firefighter reading book to little girl after a car crash warms hearts on the internet. Keanu Reeves gifts his 4 stuntmen with $20,000 Rolex watches engraved with fun messages. Americans are almost twice as likely to be satisfied with their lives if they give back. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Sunday, November 14th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Richard Lodex Kyanka, founder of Something Awful, is dead at 45. GTA, the Trilogy Definitive Edition removed from sale due to unintentionally included files. Missouri School District hiring its own students to combat labor shortage. BBC weatherman Owain Wynne Evans drew up and raises 2.5 m. Truck on brake failure slams the stopped cars in red traffic light. Brass Against apologize for singer urinating on fan's face during festival set, Sophia got carried away. How Asian American CEO Nadia Okamoto is working to end the period stigma, one used tampon at a time. Firefighters baffled by kangaroo on roof of Queensland home. Turkey jails Kurdish politician's wife over typo in medical form. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. What 100 suicide notes taught us about creating more empathetic chatbots. This top-to-bottom Oz training can make you a cloud expert and boost your IT career. Wanna really understand Squid Game? UTalk Language Education can help. The Pixel Fold may not match the Pixel 6's camera, and that's good news. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Researchers find benefits and drawbacks to two-step surgical approach for leaky heart valves. Anxiety cues found in the brain despite safe environment. Amazon rainforest birds' bodies transform due to climate change. For stem cells, bigger doesn't mean better. DNA analysis confirms 2,000-year-old sustainable fishing practices of Tsleil-Waututh Nation. Polymer discovery gives 3D printed sand super strength. Capturing a true picture of wolves in Yellowstone, re-evaluating aspen recovery. Illuminating dark matter in human DNA. Vascular defects appear to underlie the progression of Parkinson's disease. Best way to avoid procrastination. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Sunday, November 14th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA Deputy Administrator among U.S. Astronaut Hall of Fame inductees. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Both Getch scores 11 in running Utes debut as Utah pummels Sacramento State. The future of this historic LDS chapel is unknown, and community members are hoping for its revival. Missing Clearfield boy found safe. Defense powers buy women 280-64 win over Fresno State. Federal court declines to lift stay on vaccine mandate. The triple team, Jazz aren't really making each other better as they lose 4th game out of 5. Gunman robs 70 Latter-day Saint missionaries in Mexico, assaults some. LDS leader Dallin Oaks, capitals, not courts, are best places to resolve religious freedom disputes. Harrow scores 27 points, Heath hold off slumping Jess 111-105. Read LDS Apostle Dallin Oaks' address on religious freedom and non-discrimination. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Could electric cars save the coal industry? FBI website exploit leads to spam blast from FBI.gov. How should Facebook be fixed? U.S. government discourages Intel's plans to ease chip shortage by expanding in China. Penpot, the vector design web app taking on Figma and Canva with Foz, hits beta. 196 nations agree to new climate change deal at COP26 summit. U.S. rollout of 5G frequencies delayed over aviation safety concerns. Are they warranted? Austria expected to impose lockdown only on the unvaccinated. Will Microsoft beat Facebook to the metaverse? Last year's Texas power outage will now cost natural gas customers $3.4 billion. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Annual Scouts food drive hopes to collect 2 million non-perishables. Glen Carbon remains under boil order. Missouri police find dead baby in trash can after 911 call. Bullets enter home striking boy Friday night in North St. Louis County. Favorite dive bars, Fox 2 fans share their recommendations in Greater St. Louis. St. Louis man charged with murder in alleged fatal shooting. Tower Grove Park welcomes thousands of Pokemon players to the Safari Zone. Man dies early Saturday after being struck twice by cars in St. Louis County. Collinsville police arrests suspect in connection to murder victim. SSM Health offers drive-through COVID-19 vaccine clinics for children. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. 1 dead in East County highway crash. California stimulus checks, nearly 800,000 more Golden State payments going out. Police search for man suspected in sexual assault incident. Apartment community to provide 52 new homes for struggling seniors. Nearly 300 unwanted firearms exchanged for gift cards in La Mesa. Men with knife pepper sprayed, tasered during arrest, SDPD. Weekend weather, warm, fair skies in San Diego County. Chris Daughtry postpones tour following unexpected death of daughter Hannah, band confirms. Why California lets motorcycles legally split lanes but the rest of the country does not. Man killed, teen wounded in shooting outside South Bay bar. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Sunday, November 14, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Fremont patrol officer injured in car crash while responding to call. Man arrested for catalytic converter theft at Union City Shopping Center. Nations compromise on coal to strike UN climate agreement. Social media reacts after Steph Curry points to crowd mid-shot. California police shoot, wound man holding BB gun. BART reports delays at 12th Street Oakland station due to police activity. Dangerous North Bay sideshow startles residents. UC Davis says baseball team hazed students with alcohol. Remains found in California forest identified as man missing for 15 plus years. 2 hospitalized in wake of early morning East Oakland shooting. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. George and Lavigne clash in Los Angeles-Chicago matchup. New York plays Indiana on home losing streak. Cohen's 3 TD throws lead number 7 Notre Dame past Virginia 28-3. Garland, Cavs erase 19-point deficit to beat Celtics 91-89. Falwell, longtime congressman from Naperville, dies at 92. Via Park police searching for suspect involved in Safari Land shooting. Grammar Moses, being accommodative and reserving judgment. How massive mobile programs have helped feed the hungry during the pandemic. South Barrington Teens Fashion nonprofit helps refugee women. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Seattle's University Bridge stuck open, causing traffic issues for Husky, Croc and gamegoers. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Italy. Drought is ongoing in Angola. Drought is ongoing in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Nigeria. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Sunday, November 14th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. 18-wheeler driver leads police on chase through Rosenberg, Sugar Land after steakhouse shooting. HS football teams compete amid mourning for Astro World Fest victims. Family honors teen inmate killed in jailhouse attack. San Jacinto Monument Illumin Autain event honors fallen soldiers to make Texas history. Family and friends say final goodbye to 16-year-old Astro World victim. Chilly Sunday morning, pleasant afternoon. Rocker Chris Daughtry says daughter died unexpectedly, band halts tour, our hearts are broken. Under Armour, Ralph Lauren, other designer brands are retreating from TJ Maxx, here's why. Supply chain surcharges, are you ready to pay more? Clear alert cancelled for woman prone to grand mal seizures. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Dubai Air Show opens to industry on the mend amid COVID-19. Polish Muslim leader helps feed migrants and soldiers. Smog chokes Indian capital as air pollution levels soar. Kosovo in runoff municipal election. Louisiana voters give mixed decision to ballots tax changes. As virus surges in Eastern Europe, leaders slow to act. Number 5 Oregon downs Washington State 38-24 with big second half. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra, Bitcoin buzz rattles unhappy neighbors. Kids 5-11 can now get a vaccine at 3 large state-run sites in NYC. Hail pelts NYC and NJ, as tornado warning issued for parts of LI. Photos, the 2021 Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has arrived. NYPD seeking 3 times as many COVID vaccine exemptions as any other NYC agency. Former NY official describes turmoil inside Andrew Cuomo's health department during pandemic. NY and NJ will erase nearly 1 million marijuana convictions. For some, clearing their record gets tricky. Police charge man with allegedly choking and raping woman inside Central Park. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Glasgow summit ends amidst climate of disappointment. In post-quake Haiti, rebuilding lives and welcoming new ones. COP26 closes with compromise deal on climate, but it's not enough, says UN chief. Climate action can deliver a sustainable future for all. UN Deputy Chief. Feature, female mentors empower girls to reach for the stars in space careers. Diabetes equates the rich and the poor. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. World's largest 3D printed neighborhood coming to Austin, Texas. Why are Moderna's billionaires airbrushing scientists out of the vaccine patent picture? Kill the bill, thousands of Australians march against Victoria's COVID powers. Grading is racist white language supremacy, says Arizona State professor. Non-binary assistant professor calls for stigma of pedophilia to be delegitimized. Federal appeals court keeps block on Biden's staggeringly overbroad COVID-19 vaccine or testing rule for large companies. As U.S. cities mandate Pfizer jabs for kids, other countries suspending them over health risks. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Discovered, first dinosaur known roamed Greenland 214 years ago. Is Arby's making a French fry-flavored vodka? Can pronghorn antelope see the rings of Saturn? Britney freed, judge dissolves Spears' conservatorship. Bannon indicted on contempt charges for defying 1/6 subpoena. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. How the mob made pinball public enemy number 1 in the 1940s. Jeremy Renner's gritty mayor of Kingstown is no mayor of Easttown. OMG, I want to rent that house, Key Biscayne, Florida. Stop telling me trust fund kids are financial wizards. House of Gucci dialogue coach admits Lady Gaga's accent is more Russian than Italian. The sneaky, disturbing world of white nationalist wellness. Huma Abedin lived in anger and bitterness over Weiner affair. Taylor Swift joins Pete Davidson in roasting SNL newbies. SNL brutally mocks Ted Cruz's war against Big Bird. Could Chris Christie and Liz Cheney take Trump down? The next headlines are from the New York Post. Queen Elizabeth sprains back, won't attend Remembrance Sunday event. Jets vs. Bills, preview, predictions, what to watch for. Why Knicks are off to a slow start at message. Drew Tim scores 37 points to lead number 1 Gonzaga past number 5 Texas. Starling Marte, Chris Bryant 2 potential outfield options for Mets. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. COP26 in Glasgow concludes with tentative agreement to curb emissions. Analyzing the COVID pandemic roughly 20 months after cases broke out. Experimental aircraft used to test supersonic air travel. Climate deal at stake as summit stretches past deadline. More than 57 million pounds of pandemic waste polluting oceans. Man who flew to space with Blue Origin dies in plane crash. US and China announce surprise climate action deal at COP26. Leaders race to seal a deal to protect the planet. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. NASA announces test mission for planetary defense system. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. John Otis, Hurricane Carter's co-defendant, dies at age 75. 3 snow leopards die from COVID at Nebraska Zoo. Wrongfully convicted man who spent 24 years in prison gets pardon in North Carolina. Damp Jersey Shore town ponders a fix for sunny day floods. More turn to abortion pills by mail, with legality uncertain. Body of man who escaped police custody found in canal. Carnival's U.S.-based ships to resume operations by March 2 years into COVID. Nations strike climate deal with coal compromise. Top chef Daniel Hum, London's Claridge's parting ways over plant-based menu. Inside DNC chairs challenging bid to avert midterm defeat. The following headlines are from military.com. Rain, floods prompt Coast Guard rescues in Pacific Northwest. Chinese mock-ups of U.S. carrier send a clear message, expert says. Russia, West clash over Russian military presence in the car. Air Force official says U.S. to maintain presence in Mideast. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Longtime U.S. Congressman from Naperville, Harris W. Falwell, dead at 92. Chicago police cancels one of officers to regular days off as city violence spikes. Nation awaits Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. Argument, failed cigarette purchase preceded fatal shooting in Humboldt Park liquor store, prosecutors said during hearing for 16-year-old suspect. Biden administration nominates Oak Park Police Chief Layden Reynolds, 9 others for U.S. Marshals and U.S. Attorney posts. U of C graduate minding his own business, tried to escape and struggled with suspect before being fatally shot, prosecutors said. Residents, community leaders rally in support of creating Chicago's first ever Asian majority ward in Chinatown. 13-year-old boy and man charged in 2 separate city carjackings, police say. Teenage boy charged in fatal shooting at West Side Business. 2 pedestrians dead after motorist goes through red light, crashes in West Rogers Park. 1 dead, 3 wounded in separate city shootings since Friday afternoon, police say. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Delhi shuts schools as government considers pollution lockdown. SpaceX launches 53 Starlink satellites into orbit. Lionfish, an invasive menace terrorizing Venezuela's coast. Amazon deforestation hits monthly record in Brazil. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Sunday, November 14th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. How to nap like a pro. The origins and young history of early onset Alzheimer's disease. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Greece's Gelaoulis wins first post-pandemic Athens Marathon. Coleman scores 21 to carry Hawaii past Pacific 73-61. Mayukuri leads UC San Diego past George Washington 75-55. Northwestern Street Routes champion Christian College 91-62. Elaine leads Texas Arlington past Mary Hardin Baylor 104-75. Brown scores 29 to lead Murray Street over Bellarmine 78-59. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Ask Amy, my husband loves his job, and that's interfering with my plans. Saturday Night 5, the likely end for Jimmy Lake, UCLA and OSU qualify, Oregon stays on pace and a showdown next weekend. San Jose State football, Spartans routed by Utah State 48-17. Dear Abby, his controlling wife has torn our family apart. Fremont, police officer injured in collision on way to call. Worker dies in apparent fall at Valero refinery in Benicia. San Jose Sharks' feel-good start could soon become a distant memory. Unbeaten Menlo School passes another test, rolls past Half Moon Bay to reach CCS Division II semifinal. Stanford falls to Oregon State, drops 5th straight game. Remains found in California forest identified as missing man. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Hard-hitting Hall of Fame linebacker Sam Huff dies at 87. Baltimore police involved in fatal shooting. Federal court rejects Oklahoma death row inmate's appeal. Cheney and Kinzinger indicate they back Gaza censure over violent anime video. Arkansas governor supports Sarah Sanders to be his successor. Virus surge sends Minnesota hospitals scrambling for room. Tehran and Riyadh are talking, but bad blood remains between bitter Mideast rivals. Kaiser Permanente, unions reach labor deal to avert strike. Anti-Trump Republican cheers ban an indictment, you cannot ignore Congress. Union asks education chief to resign over complaint form. The next headlines are from The Intercept. How hospitals became vaults that hid evidence of COVID-19's toll. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Sunday, November 14th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. 1 killed, 1 wounded in shooting at gathering in North Austin. Horoscope for Sunday, November 14th, 2021. Notre Dame tops Virginia 28-3 behind 3 TD passes from Jack Cohen. Suspects sought in shooting that wounded one at Safari Land Amusement Park in Via Park. Jack Lauschi's 4 TDs lead brother rise past Mount Carmel. Man charged with attempted murder in Chatham shooting that left 2 hurt, including 1-year-old boy. Loyola shuts out Lincoln Way East. No bail for man charged with killing University of Chicago graduate during alleged robbery. Teen who fatally shot man in Humboldt Park liquor store was acting in self-defense, defense attorney. This you gotta see, no West rest for Bulls, Red Stars in semis, man in the arena debuts. The next headlines are from the Times of India. CBI, ED chiefs can now have 5-year tenures. Ankita Laghan to have a bachelorette in Goa. Heavy rain lashes Kerala, red alert in 3 districts. Tripura cops book 2 scribes for instigating communal enmity. Defense Ministry issues new list of sanctioned firms. American Airlines starts New York Delhi direct, defers Bengaluru Seattle to March end. Cheating case filed against Shilpa, Raj Kundra. This Xbox made by Gucci costs Rs 7.4 lakh. Windows 11 Southeast launch, new WhatsApp feature and more. 8 mistakes that you are making on Android phones. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Sunday, November 14th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Fresno nonprofit breaks Guinness World Record for longest sock line, KFSN TV. Venezuelan musicians pursue world's largest orchestra record, ABC News. Area man attempts to break world record, ABC 36 News, WTVQ. Towie legend Bobby Norris attempts to break 4 world records, but it all goes wrong, The Sun. See Fresno mission try to break Guinness World Record for sock line, Fresno B. Did you know, BTS and their 23 records enter the Guinness World Records 2022 Hall of Fame, IWM Buzz. World record, bird flies non-stop for 8,000 miles to Australia, Ball News. Alberta teen solves Rubik's Cube 300 times while riding unicycle, beats Guinness World Record, CBC Ka. Japan breaks world record for fastest internet speed, Big Think. 6 silly swimmers complete epic challenge in world record time, the home of swimming.org. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Some new Tesla cars are reportedly showing up without USB ports, only holes. Apple to pay store workers $30 million settlement for bag checks that occurred off the clock. Eternals writers talk character pairings in, maybe, a Disney Plus prequel. Glasgow Climate Pact has loopholes so big an oil tanker could get through them. The US is back at climate talks, and nothing has changed. Next week's Arrowverse crossover is all Barry Allen's fault, again. Jared Leto, JK on those Suicide Squad gifs, but also kiss my ass. We cannot ignore their inaction. Meet the new Shazam, sister of the old Shazam. How do we know when the sun will die? What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Potchefstroom in South Africa at 114.44 degrees Fahrenheit or 45.8 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 63.76 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 53.2 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. The weekend's best deals, Disney Plus, Garmin watches, Xbox Game Pass, and more. This intrepid robot is the Wall-E of the deep sea. Open sourcing of protein structure software is already paying off. Doom's creator goes after Doomscroll. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Ted Cruz launches his own Sesame Street, featuring Marjorie Taylor Greene, in SNL's Cold Open. Ted Cruz gets mowed down by Adam Kinzinger and Eric Swalwell after attacking Liz Cheney. Watch, Christo-fascist Mike Flynn makes terrifying and dangerous call for one religion in the U.S. Pence is ashamed of Trump and will run against him in 2024, former White House official. Kayleigh McEnany's notebooks could be a smoking gun in Capitol riot probe, analyst. Trump's January 6 lawsuit could backfire bigly, as House cites judge's ruling in tax return case. Isn't it time for the AG to target Trump? CNN's Jim Acosta calls on Merrick Garland to indict former president. Kyle Rittenhouse's mom blasted for tone-deaf admission that her son would do it again. Trump joked and encouraged staffers to feel free to break the law, White House insider. Trump called hospitalized Chris Christie worried he'd be blamed for his COVID infection, new book. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Nearly 200 countries just signed on to the Glasgow Climate Pact, read it here. I'm moving to Portugal, see you never. Kaiser Permanente workers just scored one of Stuttgart's biggest victories. Oh, so now Chris Christie wants to criticize Donald Trump? 5 things you should know about the new Climate Pact. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Scientists finally understand what some mysterious hotspots on brain cells do, science alert. A tutorial on spiking neural networks for beginners, Analytics India magazine. Microbiome discovery may help improve treatment for patients with gastrointestinal diseases, newsmedical.net. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Sunday, November 14, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand submits UFO UAP amendment for National Defense Authorization Act. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Sunday, November 14, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.